Hi folks, long time no see. So these are the last days in the summertime. So I came here for a walk. Actually because I couldn't uh, inspire myself to write some kind of article about German politics. I was so irritated with the news and that now it is something building up here in Germany between the right wing and the AfD, the populist right wing, that will uh, make impossible a third way, a third position. As I told you before, that there were all the conditions to make something in between the link, the left side, and the AfD. That would be, for me, an a logic approach for a solution for social problems here in Germany. But right now, the AfD from the extreme right has risen so much that the CDU, the guys from Merkel, now as this guy Friedrich Merz, which was the leader of the BlackRock Deutschland, the BlackRock concern from New York, BlackRock, the big asset manager. So he was the leader, the chef, the CEO from BlackRock Deutschland. Now he is the leader of the CDU. Now, because this guy is so opportunistic, he is now flirting the AfD. And I'm seeing right now that this will happen at the end, will be a coalition between the right wing, the center right wings from CDU, from this guy, and the AfD. If they have no values, they will join the CDU only to make a new government, because the right now the socialist government, socialist and the coalition government of the traffic light government, green, yellow, and red, from Herr Scholz, won't last much, I think. By the way, last weekend he claimed that he fell on the floor. I don't know what did he really justify that he has a black eye now, and he's using a thing like in the pirate in his right side eye, and he claimed that it was joking. How do you do this to your face? Joking. So I don't believe, obviously. I don't know what how is his relation with his wife. But normally the first thing that came to my mind is he was beaten up from someone, and with his security bodyguards, I don't know how did they solve that. This was my first thing that came to my mind, because people are very fed up with all the situation, with these sanctions, disastrous policy that is making life impossible here in Germany for middle enterprises. Big enterprises are leaving the country to China, to the United States. Big industry are moving their direction to the defense industry, like for weapons. And so to the big guys, the big fish are not so as much frustrated with this situation, but the middle classes, which is the core of the German economy, are suffering a lot. So so this was the reason actually that I came here to the forest to enjoy uh, these last summer days, but will come here a winter in our front. Let's see what happens. Last year was very mild, so it was not as much cold as normal, the winter time. So that mean that industry didn't felt as much as it could the problems with the energy. But this year it will be colder for sure. How much cold it will be, we don't know. Let's see. But this doesn't sound very well for the industrial problems with the energy in this country. In the meantime, there were many things happened in between, yeah, since last time I came here. Actually, I want to try to bring some people to talk about different issues here in the channel, but the channel is still very small, so it's not as much as attractive as big channels. I have told you people that I have another channel in Portuguese language, which is my mother tongue, with 4,000 subscribers. That is more attractive, so I have already brought many people to talk in Portuguese language from Brazil, from Portugal. In Spanish I have another one, also very recent, and is gaining momentum and a dynamic, also with interviews with some friends and people from the Spanish world. And I want to do this the same as in English. It has a much bigger potential. So I will bring, it's a matter of time that I will start bringing people here, important people, to talk about these geopolitical issues. Because we are in a phase which is very critical here in Europe, especially in Eastern Europe, in Ukraine. There's a war ongoing. This war has brought us a lot of different dynamic also in the economy in the world. For one side, we are seeing clearly a new multipolar world growing, and this is a great achievement by the Russians, because they are a core part of this, together with the Chinese. So this will be the main issues to talk about in the next times. For some 2 weeks ago, there was this incident in Russia with Prigozhin being declared dead in this airplane accident. We don't know for sure what really happened there, but now Putin has no right-wing extremist opposition. He didn't have already the liberal opposition, and now the radicals, the hardcore guys like Surovikin, Prigozhin, even Dugin, the philosopher, Girkin, the guy from Donetsk, Minister of Defense of Donetsk, is in prison, I think. So these hardcore people wanted to escalate the war, which I think actually that would be a very irresponsible escalation by the Russians. That would be disastrous for Russia within the BRICS and their allies. So these guys are out of the game now. Putin has pretty much free. He's free to do whatever he wants in his country. Russia belongs to him right now. He has still a problem, I think, with the mobilization. With the Russians want to, in some time, I think he is waiting for the right time to make the big offensive and to decide the war. That will be, it's very risky also, because NATO won't, I think they will jump in when this happens. It might jump in. There are many signs in that direction. But if he wants to do this, he has to make a new mobilization. And that will be problematic, because in next March there will be the elections in Russia. So right now there is no Prigozhin or another ultra hardcore candidate. So let's see what happens in between. There is still half year until then. Let's see if there will be some hardcore candidate. The hardcore right now would serve the interests of NATO, which is the destabilization of Russia and Putin. Putin is the devil. Let's not forget, this was a discussion we had with friends that are very hardcore, and no, Putin has to solve this war, and we want a hardcore solution, Prigozhin, Surovikin, whatever, and they don't understand the dynamics, and how serious are this stuff, and how Putin works and his mind works. He is getting what he wants. Actually, he's winning all this. He's very risky game he is playing, no doubt. It was very risky to invade Ukraine by itself, but look at the outcome. The BRICS last week, they didn't make this currency, because that will be this is a discussion itself. That's why I want to bring here people to talk about these issues, economic issues, military issues, diplomatic things, so many things, history. The reason that they didn't want to make a currency might be that they don't want to upset the Americans too much at this phase. They will have elections next year also. Biden can lose these elections, and then we have time to do a currency or a basket of currencies among the BRICS. Because right now it's very critical, the situation, and the United States could be so upset that they will lose the rationale, and they will provoke major military problems in the world. So this is not the right time for that. But was very important is BRICS expansion, 6 new countries. Next year for sure it will enter a couple of more, maybe Bolivia, Venezuela. It's energy we are talking about. Gas and oil, among other things, rare earth, many Africa, 2 countries, the Suez Canal now is under the BRICS, so they are making a new alternative world to the hegemony of the dollar without the de-dollarization yet. That's why the Ukraine war plays a role, but it's not everything. There are many other things happening. Erdogan from Turkey was yesterday in Sochi, in Russia, made a lot of deals with Putin regarding to the grain deal, the renewing of the grain deal. So now is in the Western hands to renew it or not, because Russia wants to renew this, but they demand to be to the system, of payment system to be unblocked, which is absolute legitimate from the Russian side. So who is the right now sabotaging the grain deal are the Westerns, but Turkey is siding with Russia with a lot of things. They even signed a deal for the construction of a new nuclear reactor in Turkey, and they developed a little bit more that idea of the gas hub in Turkey. And this is the main thing. This is very important. In the last 20 years, well, the relation between Russia and Germany in energy, it comes already from the 60s, okay? We are talking about GDR and the Republic, Federal Republic, both Germanies had a relation with Russia, with oil. And since last 20 years or so, with gas. And this was a main reason for the development of Germany as the center of Europe, as the engine of the European Union. Right now, what Russia is doing is facilitating the tools, the energy, the core reason to put Turkey on the map and to give Turkey a major role in Europe. And this is a very, very concerning, should concern the Europeans. This is what we want, Turkey with a major role in the energy supply to Europe. This is what they are doing between Russians and Turks, because the Germans and the Europeans wanted to sanction Russia because of a war that they had problems in their border. They wanted to mess up and the problems in Russia, and now, right now, we are seeing clearly 1.5 years after that Europe is the main loser of all these stupid decisions by the Europeans themselves. So right now, Russia is giving the hand to the Turks and giving the Turks a major role in Europe. Well, these are the other things that are happening aside of the war, but there are many other things in the United States and in the Middle East and in Africa, and we will have to talk. I promise I will come here more often as I can. I didn't forget us. We are very few followers, but we are growing and it will grow. And I want to bring this content more often here. So let me know if you're listening to this, if you're liking, if you can subscribe, you can like, you can comment, you can suggest people to interview, and we will talk about all the other issues. Last time was 2 months ago. It's too long. I will try to be here at least once a week, because there are many things happening, and I want to do this actually also because I want to develop my English skills, which is kind of forgotten. I don't talk too often in English, and I would do, and this will demand me to speak more in English if I have to interview people and things like this. And this is one of the reasons also. So see you here soon, okay?